Hey guys, as you come in, go ahead and just leave your names in the chat one more time. We restarted our stream, and we hope that you will be following us here shortly. It is awesome to see you guys. We're not going to let the countdown go all the way down. We're just giving you a little bit of time to come in and be able to catch up on our new stream. Thank you for your patience. Our home has been struggling with our Wi-Fi service provider today, and it's picking a bad time to act up. We are hoping for the best. Something does go wrong again, just stay in the chat and I'll give you some directions on what to do.
This week on Real Life Quarantine.
So life in quarantine, it's been pretty chill. I mean, we're hanging out, we're playing games, reading, and just bonding all around. So we don't have a lot of rules in this house, but the one rule I do have, no one touches my chicken nuggets. And today, someone broke that rule. Family meeting, now!
Now, I don't know a lot, but what I do know is when Carl calls a family meeting, someone's usually in trouble.
Here we go. All right, y'all, I don't demand much. I let you stay here, I let you play my games, I even let you use my hallway as a slip and slide. It was dope.
It was pretty dope.
But someone just crossed the line.
Wow, I guess you could say things are heating up in the kitchen.
Someone just ate my chicken nuggets. So what?
Shots fired.
So what? That's my one rule, Brock. Well, it's a stupid rule. Stupid?
Are you kidding me?
Also, there's more food in the fridge, man. The only thing in there besides my chicken nuggets is vegetables.
Carl hates vegetables.
I hate vegetables, and Brock knows that. Good, you could stand to eat a few more veggies. What did you say? All I'm saying is that maybe you should take a break from eating 100 chicken nuggets a day and maybe eat a vegetable. Whew. I'm pretty fuming right now, but I know I gotta be slow to anger and take the higher road. Be the better person. I'm not a rabbit, bro! I don't eat vegetables! I don't eat Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets! Dude? That's it!
What?
Okay, first of all, bruh, don't cornstalk me. Dose of all, if you're hungry, go buy some more chicken nuggets. I would love to, Brock, but it's Sunday and they're closed. I bought these extra to eat today. You can go to Mickey D's. It's all the same, dude. What did you say? I said go to Mickey D's. It's basically the same as Chick-fil-A, if not better.
The fact that Brock just said that, it scares me.
I'll kill you! I'll kill you, Brock! You know I love Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets!
Yo, bro,
You know
stop,
come on,
dude.
dude.
Stop, dude. What's up with all this quarantine Carl?
Next week on Real Life Quarantine.
So I decided to kick Austin out of the house.
This house is a nightmare, dude. Didn't even like it anyway, bro.
Bye-bye, Austin. Guess who just became the best looking guy in the house?
To be honest, I'm glad Austin's gone. I called dibs on his Xbox.
I'm done. I'm out of here, bro. I can't get enough.
You got a whole litter, bro. Oh, are those pugs? He's not supposed to be in leaves like that. He worked hard raking up those leaves. Look at
Hey guys, we have had like an array of all kinds of problems tonight. I'm watching my streaming information, and we're just kind of up and down on how much percentage of the bandwidth we're using here. So hang with us. We're going to try to get through this. I think it's going to be okay. Tonight, it's just again, welcome back. I am super hopeful. We are closer than ever to being together and seeing each other face to face. So I am looking forward to that day. I think it's going to happen sooner than later. If not, you'll see me on TV. I'll be marching on the Capitol steps, protesting and say, "Let us get back. We want to see each other." So anyway, welcome back tonight. We're going to have a little game here. You can see announcements above me. And you'll notice on Wednesday next week, we're going to have a new time to meet next Wednesday. I've got some conferences in the evening I'm doing, and so if you are open and you can, we're going to meet at 4 o'clock, and we're still going to do it anyway. If there's one of you on here, we'll still have youth group right here like we do every Wednesday. So we'll see you guys next week at 4 o'clock. Real quick, this is the boy versus girl game we're going to play here. And, oh wait, before we go to that, today, this week's trick shot challenge. We had several entries. I couldn't get some of them to actually show up on my computer. There's an issue with videos not being able to play on my channel here right now. But luckily, the winner, his winning video is actually on here. So Hobbs Hutchinson, if you're still watching, I saw you logging in. This is Hobbs' video of his trick shot with a fork. We're going to have to watch that one again. That's pretty awesome. So we got the overhand throw, the triple clap, and the moonwalk. We got it going on, man. Hobbs is a beast. The moonwalk totally sold on to me. It's not quite MJ there, Hobbs, but it was pretty good, pretty good. And nice socks, by the way, too, buddy. So tonight we're gonna play a little family feud. This is guys versus girls. So Morgan, why don't you feed me the first two names? I need one boy and I need one girl, and they're going to in the chat. This one boy and this one girl are the only ones that are actually going to be able to type the answer to start, and then whoever gets the highest like ranked answer gets to decide if the girls or boys get a play or pass. Here's my names. We got, all right, so Hobbs and Brenna. No one else is in the chat right now. Don't type anything. It's Hobbs and it's Brenna. This question is for you guys. Let me get to the screen and let's make sure this is still working. Awesome. So, should we have a little theme music here? You can't hear anyone talk over that. So, all right. So, your question tonight. By the way, 100 people are surveyed. We have the top 6 answers. Top 6 answers are on the board. Hobbs and Brenna, here is your question. Name something you might find lying on a teenager's floor. Type your answers. Just one. You get one answer each, Hobbs and Brenna. First one in gets to have their answer revealed, and you can play or pass.
Hobbs said clothes.
Clothes is the first answer. And okay, so Hobbs is first. Let's see if he is correct. Hobbs, you got the answer correct. So Hobbs, we're going to go ahead and just let the boys play this round. We're not going to ask if you want to play or pass. You're playing, man. Boys, you are playing. So we're going to go on to the next boy. Morgan, who's our next boy, gets to answer here.
Lachlan.
All right, Lachlan, you're up. I'll give you 15 seconds to give me an answer, what you think is in our top 6. Things you might find lying on a teenager's floor. I'll watch the chat and see your answer kind of float in here. Is Lachlan still viewing? Oh, he says schoolwork. We're going to call that, we're going to assume that books are school books that you said there. So schoolwork, school books, it's all the same to me. All right, next on the list, let's go Jacob. Jacob, you're going to answer next for the boys. We'll give you about 15 seconds. Name something that might be lying on a teenager's floor. Now, I'm assuming that's a teenager's room, not their locker. Give you a few more seconds, Jacob, to type your answer in. All right, dishes. Dishes. I'm going to give you that one. We're going to call it food. Dishes and food. That's why you have dishes for food, right? So we're going to call that an answer. Guys, so far no strikes. You're doing great, but only 3 answers are left. We're going to go with Mike. If Mike, Kelly, it looks like you, Mike, and Locker are all watching together. So Mike, what is your answer? Give you some time here to think. Girls, start thinking about an answer for yourself, and what we'll do when you have a chance to steal, if the boys can't complete this, we'll give you a chance to steal, and I'll explain how the steals work in the chat. All right, Mike. Give you a couple more seconds. He probably went to the fridge. All right, boys have their first strike. Oh, is it back in? Toys. Well, that's a strike anyway, so that was the wrong answer. Good thought, though. Good thought. Maybe teenage boys stop playing with toys. I don't know. All right, Hobbs, back to you. All right, Hobbs, back to you. You got 10 seconds. Name something you might find lying on a teenager's floor. Okay, stains of some kind. That is not, it's true, it's just not going to be the answer we're looking for. All right, boys, you got one more strike left. We're going to go back to Lachlan. And girls, who's going to be our stealer? All right, Harley. We're going to give all the girls 15 seconds to type as many answers as they want in the chat. And then you pick the best one that you think is on the list up over here, okay? So the boys, they answered sports stuff. That is not going to pass as an answer for this one. So girls, you have a top 2 answer left on the board. Girls, everyone but Harley, fill in the chat with your ideas. And then Harley, we'll give you 10 seconds. You look through that list, or you can use your own answer. And then Harley, once you type the answer, that's the answer you choose as soon as you answer, Harley. I see bedding, pictures, electronics, trash, shoes, cords. A lot of answers, a lot of good answers here. I see shoes several times, empty water bottles. Makeup? Well, yeah, I guess a teenage girl. I didn't think. I'm a guy, so I'm thinking guys. There's probably a lot of really gross stuff if it's a boy. All right, Harley, time for your answer. Which of those are you going to choose? Type in your answer. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay, Harley says shoes. Let's see what we got for an answer here. Is it in the board? It is. Girls, you stole round 1 from the boys. Nice job. And if you look at the rest of the answers, we got magazines and trash. So, girls, you had a few of those on there. All right, let's go ahead and go to round number 2. Morgan, who are we bringing up? You can say that one.
Lexi.
All right, Lexi's coming in for the girls. And for the boys, let's bring up Lachlan. Lexi and Lachlan, you guys are going head to head on this one. You guys get a chance to answer. Here we go. Boys, this is your chance to make a comeback. Are you ready? There are 100 people surveyed. Top 5 answers are on the board. This question is, name something specific teenagers do that make their parents very angry. Lachlan and Lexi. All right. Let's see. Argue. I'm going to say yes, that is on the board, but the girls, you get a chance to steal. Talk back. Well, that's kind of the same one. So, boys, you get to play again, it looks like. We're going back to Jacob, I think, on this one. Jacob, you get a chance to try to get another answer on the board for the boys. Think about things that teenagers might do to make their parents very angry. All right? So this is for the boys now. Girls, be thinking of answers that the boys don't think of, so you have a chance to steal again. All right. All right, annoying siblings. Nope, your parents are probably not arguing about it. You're probably arguing with your annoying sibling, but not with your parents about that sibling. It's not on the list tonight. So Mike, you're next. Mike, you have 2 teenagers in your home. This should be very easy for you to write that down. Think about that. I'll give you about 5 more seconds. All right, lying. Oh, yes. Number 2 on the list. Absolutely lying. All right, we're back to Hobbs. Hobbs, you get a chance to take another answer off the board here. What do you think, Hobbs? You guys don't have any strikes yet. You're good to go. I had to talk to my co-producer privately, sorry. All right, Hobbs, what's your answer, buddy? Playing too many video games. You know what? That is probably the most accurate answer, but it's not on the board. It is not on the board, believe it or not. But you're right. I agree with you, man. That would have been my top answer. Maybe this survey was taken in the 80s because there's a couple answers in here that make more sense for old school teenagers. So, Mike, maybe you'll win this one. All right, Lachlan, you're back on. Lachlan, what do you think, man? Man, there's so many hints I could give, but I can't do that. All right, stealing. Oh, man. That's actually really close, but it's not on the list. That's a good one. I have been mad at that before as a dad of teenagers. So, all right, we're back to Jacob. Jacob, this is the boy's last chance if you don't get it. This is the boy's last chance. See if you can bring it home here, buddy. Name something specific teenagers do that makes their parents very angry. All right, taking food to your room. Man, I tell you, I need to update this survey. That's good. All right, girls, our answer person's going to be Andrea. Andrea, you answered before I gave everyone a chance to collaborate. So, girls, why don't you write down as many answers as you want, and then when Andrea answers again, that will be her official answer. So you guys have 10 seconds to write down as many answers as you can. I won't count it against you, Andrea. You had no idea we were going to call your name to be the answer lady. Oh man, I see some good ones. Not doing chores, bad grades, shoplifting, messy room. Some good stuff in there. Laziness, eating too much, asking for money. All right. Andrea, what do you think? You got a bunch of stuff here. Think of specific things. All right, Andrea says not doing chores. That is not correct. Guys, you won this round. You got this one. We'll go to a third round, the tie break, but let's take a look and let's see what else is on the board. I've got smoking, or maybe today you could say vaping would be a more accurate answer. Drinking and breaking curfew. I think someone on the chat said breaking curfew, so that would have taken it home. All right, let's bring in who we got here?
Mike.
Let's do Mike versus Kelly. No, you can't. You're typing at the same time. Mike versus who?
Kenzie.
Mike versus Kenzie. So Kenzie and Mike, you guys are battling on this one right here. All right, I'm gonna pick the question here. Let's see. And by the way, these questions all pretty much, you guys should be experts at these too, because you've been with your parents like almost non-stop in your houses. It's crazy, right? All right, Kenzie, Mike, here you go. Here's your question. 100 people surveyed, top 4 answers are on the board. Name something moms tell their kids to do before eating dinner. Name something moms tell their kids to do before eating dinner. All right, the answers are coming out. All right, we got Kenzie first. Her answer was wash hands. Girls, you get to keep playing the feud. Guys, get ready to try and steal in case they can't finish this round off. Girls, 3 answers on the board. You have 3 chances to try to get it. Who's going next, Morgan?
Alexis.
Alexis is next. All right, Alexis, type your answer in. Give you 10 seconds here. Here we go. All right, only the people we call can answer at this point, so everyone just relax and wait a minute. Set the table. Yes, it's answer number 4. Good job. Who's next?
Lexi.
Lexi, you are up. Lexi, give you 10 seconds to get that written down and typed in. All right. Lexi, go ahead and finish typing that answer and hit return. Let's see if you get a chance to get this correct. All right. Morgan's telling me the answer's coming in. All right, put up your phone. That is a great one. Probably again, this is maybe a not 19 or not, or maybe it is a 19 something survey, not a 2000 survey. All right, Leah, you're next. Leah, you've got 10 seconds to answer the call. All right, Leah. All right, time is up. Let's see what she wrote down. Our co-producer Morgan's telling me what's going on. Help with your siblings. That is also incorrect. That is an incorrect answer. All right, last but not least, Brenna. Can you bring this one home? Can you get one more right answer, or do the guys get a chance to steal? Guys, be thinking. There's 2 answers on the board. It's all right, Leah. These are hard ones, especially since I'm pulling out a few old school things to do. Things to do before eating dinner. One of these makes sense to me, one of them doesn't, but I'm not going to argue with the Family Feud guys. All right, Brenna, time is up. Let's see that answer. All right, we've got a 3rd strike on that one. All right, guys. Who's going to be the answer guy?
Hobbs.
All right, Hobbs, you get the final answer on this one. Hobbs, you get the final answer. All right, boys, Mike, Locke, Jacob, start typing in your ideas. You can type as many ideas as you want. We'll give you about 10, 15 seconds to type your ideas. Hobbs, you can have your own too. And then Hobbs, as soon as you do type an answer, though, that is your answer. Or unless you run out of time, like Brenna did, then we're just going to push the buzzer on you. All right, looks like Mike and Locke are saying pray. And Jacob says fill the cup with water. Hobbs, I'm not sure if they're going to give you anything else, but let's see what comes up. Oh, pray. He says, Hobbs says we're going to pray. Let's see if he's right. He got it. Hobbs, congratulations. Brought home a 2nd win today for you. Nice job. Let's see what our last answer is. This is the one that I don't understand. This one says homework. Does anyone do homework before supper, or do you do that like after? My kids are more of after type of homework doers, but I don't know. Boys, nice work, man. Nice job. I like it. I like it a lot. So tonight, we're going to continue talking a little bit about this series, in my opinion, which, by the way, I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of really good opinions. Some of you, your opinions are, well, they're yours, right? Like when we didn't start on time. Some of you had definite opinions about us not starting on time with a countdown timer. and so you all have your ideas and opinions. I had my own, right? So, but sometimes with our opinions, they can go like a completely other direction than just stating, hey, here's how I feel about something. But our opinions can actually do some really hurtful things to other people. And so that's what this series is about. So let me pray with you guys, and we'll get into tonight's message, and then I'll wrap things up at the end, all right? Here we go. I'll remove my hat. Dear Jesus, we thank you for the time to be able to hang out together and have some fun with one another. I'm going to ask that you really convict our hearts and our minds tonight as we listen to your word. It's in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Hi friends, my name is Adriana. Don't like coffee, don't like tea. I'm not a real grown-up, but this morning it's not even 9 o'clock yet and I already have myself a milkshake, so come at me. Have you ever spoken up about something and it ended up being totally awkward or hurtful or embarrassing? I mean, you didn't mean any harm, but the way the words just came like spilling out of your mouth, just like just ended up doing more harm than good. I mean, I think we can all say we've been there, right? I know I have. So when we were younger, my little sister started making a bunch of really unhealthy, unwise, kind of stupid decisions. I mean, she was skipping school a lot, she was hanging out with people who didn't really know what was best for her, and she was doing all kinds of things that could cause her pain further down the road. Now, I didn't know when or how to speak up to her because she was my sister. She knew me better than anybody, and she knew all the ways that I had messed up. And I was just so afraid that she would turn around and say, no, 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 no. You are not perfect, you do not get to tell me what to do. So when I finally did confront her, it was in this moment of just like, oh, I was so frustrated with her. And instead of talking to her with love and compassion, I just spoke out of my own hurt. And my words didn't make her realize that she was making bad decisions. I mean, I didn't stop to make sure that my words were full of love and concern, and so all they did was make her feel ashamed and awkward. And in that moment, it was like speaking up just made the situation way worse. Now, if you've been there, and you know how this feels, right? I mean, just like, of course, you didn't have these bad intentions when you said those things. I mean, we were just sharing our opinion, right? We're just being open and honest. But when that opinion causes awkwardness or embarrassment or even hurt, it can make us wonder if it was ever a good idea to speak up in the first place. Now, as bad as those awkward moments can be, I think they're probably not even the moments that we fear the most about speaking up. I think most often, the place that a lot of us run into this fear of sharing our opinions is actually with our friends. Now, maybe you're like, whoa, 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 Adriana, pause. I can talk to my friends about anything. Well, that's because I'm not talking about the everyday easy stuff you share with your friends, like who your favorite singer is, or what your favorite Disney movie is, or what gross stuff you like putting on your pizza, like Oreos or hamster food. I don't know. I'm talking about the hard stuff, the difficult stuff, the stuff that makes speaking up or speaking out really complicated. Now, think about the last time you saw a friend making a bad choice. Maybe they were hanging out with the wrong crowd, a group of people who were really influencing them to make not so great decisions. Or maybe they were dating someone who was pressuring them to do something that they shouldn't, and your friend was slowly giving in. Now, maybe they were disobeying or disrespecting their parents. They were lying and arguing and getting super angry all of the time at home. Maybe you saw them stop caring about school or homework or about showing up to class. Maybe you knew they were watching shows they weren't supposed to, or sneaking around the parental controls on the internet, or posting inappropriate content on secret social media accounts. We've all been there too, right? I mean, we've all had a friend do something or be on the verge of doing something that we know is really, 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 really not gonna be good for them. And when that happens, if you're anything like me, you probably wanna say something. You feel like you should speak up, but you aren't sure what to say or how to say it, or if you should say anything at all. It's times like these when we start to make excuses for ourselves. We tell ourselves things like, you know what my friends are doing is no big deal. Other times we tell ourselves, if I speak up, I might make my friend mad or even ruin our friendship. So I'm just not gonna say anything at all. Sometimes we don't speak up to a friend because we think, what can I even say to this person? I mean, I have done the exact same thing. Who would even listen to me if I spoke up about this? Another excuse we might tell ourselves is, that is really, really, really none of my business. I mean, if it has nothing to do with you and it doesn't affect you, can you actually say anything about it? Maybe you've convinced yourself not to speak up to a friend because you thought, I don't think they're gonna listen anyway. So speaking up is just, it's not even gonna make a difference. Or maybe you didn't speak up honestly to a friend because you know that you're not supposed to gossip and it kind of felt like gossip. And even if you just brought it up to them, wasn't that doing the whole like unwholesome talk thing that you're not supposed to do, but you were doing it and what are you gonna do? Another excuse you may have heard for not speaking up to a friend is because you thought, I already told them what I think. Do I really need to tell them again and again and again? You are not alone in those feelings. We've all been in situations where we knew we should speak up, but we made excuses for why we didn't. While I think it's normal to feel that way, we're gonna learn today why that's probably not the best choice we can make. Now, let me pause here and say that I know this isn't the case for all of us. I mean, some of you have zero problem speaking up and making your voice heard. You aren't at all shy about telling your friends what you think about whether or not K-pop is the best pop, or if Baby Yoda is kind of cute but also a little bit ugly. Now, don't check out here because trust me, this is for you too. When it comes to speaking up in situations like these, we all have hang-ups. Now, maybe for you, speaking up is a struggle and you constantly question if it's worth the risk. Or maybe speaking up comes easily, but you don't always offer your opinion in, let's say, the nicest way. Either way, there has to be a better way to speak up and share our opinions when we think they are going to be helpful to someone that we care about, right? So this question of how to find the best way to speak up isn't a new one. About 2,000 years ago, a guy named Paul wrote a letter to a church in a place called Galatia. Now, part of that letter addressed this very issue. Paul wrote this letter because he cared about the believers in that church so much, and he knew they were just trying to figure out how to live in the best way. But honestly, y'all, they were struggling because sometimes knowing how to live in the best way can be confusing, and that's why Paul put pen to paper to help his friends out. So let's take a look at some of what he wrote. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. Now, even though Paul addressed this passage to people who lived a long time ago, I think we can all learn something from this. It doesn't matter if you grew up in the church or if this is your first time here, this can apply to all of us. Paul addressed this passage to fellow Christian believers because they were his friends. He cared about them. He cared about what happened to them. And because of that, he didn't want them to make choices that hurt themselves and hurt others. I think we can all relate to that feeling, right? I mean, when we care about someone else, we want what's best for them. We don't want them to hurt themselves or to hurt others. And sometimes that means we have to speak up when we see them heading in that direction. So what did Paul say we should do? Well, according to this verse, when we see friends who are struggling with things that might hurt them, or they're moving down a path that's going to lead them to something harmful, it's important that we do what we can to help them get back on the right path. A lot of times that includes speaking up. Now, I get that this is super hard for a lot of us. I mean, like we said earlier, there are so many reasons not to say something that we know our friends don't necessarily want to hear. We're afraid it's gonna hurt their feelings or upset them or damage the relationship. But I think in situations where our friends are walking towards something that could be really bad news for their lives and for their futures, we have to care more about the person than about the relationship. We have to care enough about our friend that we are willing to speak up, even if it means that our friendship is a little bruised in the process. All right, to start, let's just try this. Put yourself in their shoes. Now, if you were the one who was walking a path that everybody else saw was going to potentially be really bad news for you, would you want someone to tell you? Would you want a friend to stop you or help you or point out that what they saw had the potential to hurt you? Would you want them to have the courage to have a difficult conversation with you? I know I would. Well, when you see a friend in that same place, you have the chance to be that person for them. You have the opportunity to speak up and help them move back towards the right path. Now, like we said, there are some of you who are like, I am not afraid to speak up. I even kind of like telling people they're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you are super wrong. Well, look back at the verse again. Paul didn't just tell us to help our friends get back on the right path. He told us how we're supposed to do it, with gentleness and humility. It is not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. You need to speak the truth, but you need to do it in the right way and with the right heart. Paul says to gently and humbly help the friends you see struggling down the wrong path. That means speaking with kindness and with love and with encouragement instead of anger and frustration and judgment. It means caring more about the person you're speaking to than the fact that you're right. So speak up, but do it with kindness. Be helpful and encouraging and loving. In other words, use kindness and love when you speak up. Now, when we approach tough conversations with love and kindness, it will change both what we say and how we say it. We'll speak up because we love others and we want what's best for them, and we'll do it in love, using words that encourage and rebuild and help our friends get back on the right path. Remember, use kindness and love when you speak up. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you think you might need to speak up, I want you to ask yourself a couple of things. 1, what does it look like to love my friend and show kindness in the situation? Maybe it's in the way you talk to them about it, the actual words that you use to have that conversation. And maybe it's in using a gentle tone over a harsh one. Maybe it's choosing to talk about it only with that friend instead of with a bunch of other people. And maybe it's simply agreeing to pray for them or offer them continued encouragement when you see them making good choices, or reminding them that you love them no matter what. And maybe it's not saying anything until you can figure out how to say it in a gentle and humble way. Whatever it is, before you speak, consider what it would look like to show the other person love in that conversation. 2, what would I want? Put yourself in their shoes. If this was you, would you want someone to talk to you about the issue? How would you want them to talk to you when they did? In other words, how would you want someone to show you love and kindness in this conversation? Think about that and try to do the same for the friends around you who need your love in the same way. So this week, keep this in mind. Use kindness and love when you speak out. And as you head out, think about this. What's one thing that keeps me from speaking up or speaking out in love? And cut. Speaking up or speaking out in love.
Hey guys,
And cut.
that is a really super tough lesson to have to listen to personally, and I'm guessing for a lot of you guys, there's some things in there too that are just like really convicting. I know for me, it's so much easier to judge people, and instead of just lovingly have some compassion and show them kindness when I see people say or do things that maybe I disagree with, or that maybe they did or said something that hurts someone. And you guys have heard about icebergs before, right? Like, you know that like 10% of icebergs are what we see. It's the part that's above the water, but the other 90% of that iceberg, it's all hidden below the surface. It's the unseen, the unknown, the invisible that we can't see from above. So believe it or not though, people are a lot like that. You're like that. I'm like that. The people you and I like to gossip about or judge, they're just like that too. What we see on the surface, it's like things that we don't know that are going on that might be causing them to do the things they're doing or to say the things they're saying. And so instead of jumping to conclusions, maybe what we can do instead is look a little bit below the surface and say, okay, what's causing this action that I'm seeing? What other things can't I see that might be causing that? It could be the way they were brought up, their home environment, something that just happened to them that we're completely unaware of. It's like maybe it's a heartbreaking story. or just something. Maybe they just received terrible news about something. But we've got to remember that there's always more to the story that we may not know, that we may not understand. And so the best thing for you and I to do when we do have opinions about other people and the things they say and they do is to remember to choose love, compassion, humility, and then also some sympathy when it comes to interacting with others. When you guys are allowed to come back and gather and we can meet again at church, there'll be some families and some students that simply won't want to come, or they may not be allowed to come because those families might be nervous about meeting again. And so instead of judging them and saying, hey, why aren't you showing up or coming back to things, maybe there's something else going on there that we don't know about. So there's a lot of things like that I'm learning kind of through all this quarantine stuff. But just know this, you're loved and being prayed for every week. I do care about you, and I know your small group leaders, a lot of them. You'll see them in the chat, and they'll join in and talk with you guys there. And then also, too, if you join small groups on Zoom, that's a chance to kind of interact with them. I know that they've had a lot of fun with you guys, too. So I just want to leave you guys with a little prayer in the chat. Just know that we love and miss you guys, and we hope you have a great weekend. I'm hoping that really, really soon we'll be back together. But until then, don't forget that 4 o'clock on Wednesday next week, we're going to go 3 hours early. So make sure you set an alarm or just click the alerts on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring that notification bell. By the way, I've always wanted to say that. And so, then that way you can get alerts as soon as we go live. And by the way, Alexis, the reason we show a countdown video at 7 and not 5 minutes before 7 is because there are people that may or may not be able to get on the stream as quick as others. And so we want to give everyone a little bit of time to kind of gather in the waiting room so that they don't miss the cool Carl little videos we play every week. So anyway, hope you guys have a blessed weekend. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.